Hi, I'm Myra of Myra's Best Gourmet Express, and today we're going to be making a roasted tomato, red pepper, basil soup. And the topic that I'm going to talk about today is getting rid of toxic people and relationships in your life. So let's get at it. You're going to have a baking sheet, and I prefer parchment paper on top. And then you're going to take your tomatoes, which are wedged, and there's about 9 tomatoes in here, whole tomatoes. And you just simply dump them onto your tray, space them out. And then we're going to add the red pepper. There's about 2 medium red peppers that I've sliced. That goes on top. Just kind of incorporate it so it's evenly spread out. And then there's about 9 to 10 whole garlic cloves. And again, just sprinkle them on. And there's a medium-sized onion, diced and sliced, which goes on top. And just kind of move it around so it's evenly spaced out. And then for herbs, we're using fresh thyme. And you just want to sprinkle it on top as such. And you don't want to get a lot of the little branches in there because that's not really good for your soup. A hunk of branch, no. And then we're going to do some rosemary and just kind of break it off, and again, keeping away from the little branches if you possibly can. Voila. And then there's basil, and I've just chopped it, and that also goes on top. And then we're going to pour over half a cup of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. And we're just gonna put that on top. I like to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And when you're finished with this, it's going to go into an oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and you're going to leave it in there for an hour. So at that point, I already have it prepared. I'm going to move this. And when it comes out of the oven that it's been in for an hour, it's going to be browned, caramelized, and ready to go. So what we do at this point is it's going to go into a food processor, and we're going to puree it. So I'm just going to move this over here, and I will be just dumping it in, which hopefully I'm not going to spill. Voila, I did it. Now you just want to puree this until it's smooth consistency. So if you give me a moment, I'm just going to take care of that. Ready. Voila. That's fast and easy. Then at that point, you're going to want to put it into your pot. Get all the goodness in there. I'm adding 4 cups of chicken stock. And you're going to put this to medium high, bring it to a nice simmer, and stir to incorporate it, and just let it kind of simmer, I'd say for half an hour. I like to blend the flavors. And since we're talking about blending flavors and how when you're cooking with a recipe, you want your ingredients to complement each other, right? To bring out the best. So that brings me to the topic of friendships. Now, I learned this the hard way over many years. I would reach out to friends and I would try to be the best friend I could possibly be. I'd be the super friend, hit every friendship mark. And it's exhausting. It's absolutely exhausting. And you know, you give, but what do you get back? So sometimes choosing your health and your happiness means cutting off those people that drain your energy, that are toxic to you. So I did that, and I've developed a small group of friends that are authentic, honest, trustworthy, that are there for me, and I can be there for them. So it's a really hard life lesson to learn, but it's one that I think we all need to learn. I'm just going to check on our soup. Oh, it's looking good. I'll bring it over to you, and I'm going to teach you a cheat. Now, this soup seems to be really a good color, right? It's got a lot of red tones in it, and you can see your herbs through it, and it's a good consistency. But sometimes I've had tomatoes where they're just not quite ripe enough. And for that issue, we cheat. So you can just buy at your local store a tomato basil, which is a deeper red to add to it. Very rarely do I ever need to do this. And just a heads up that my daughter should be watching this closely because it is her husband's favorite soup. And I'm going to show you the end result and how I like to serve it. Now I put some basil on there, sprinkled on top, and I like to put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And it kind of adds a little bit of flavor and it looks nice. Anyway, that's it for me today for Myra's Best Gourmet Express. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.